All right, this is DaSean Mintz. I'm sitting here with Coach Cox, the Mallard Creek football coach, assistant football coach, quarterback coach. So, if you were paid during your college experience, how would it affect you today?
I don't know how much it would have affected me today. It would have been a huge change while I was in school because, you know, when you play a sport in college, you never have a chance to go out and get a job, and so it's hard for you to have spending money for stuff on the side, that a lot of other students would be able to get by being able to go out and get a job. So it definitely would have changed my college life, and who knows, it might have changed a little bit now, just if I would have been able to save some sort of money that I could have gotten paid from school. But I think the biggest difference that money would have made was while I was in school.
Okay. Second question, do you feel that paying college athletes would inhibit them from getting a good quality education?
I don't think so, but I think you'd have to really have some strict guidelines as to what athletes got paid. I think if it was a large enough amount of money, I think it could affect some kids' choices whether to stay in school the whole time or to leave early. But I think I don't think receiving money for playing a college sport would inhibit education, but it would just have to it'd have to be something reasonable enough where that wouldn't be the focus, is how much money they'd be getting for going to a certain place or anything like that.
Third question is, what option do you feel is most feasible for college athletes to receive? Money, scholarship, endorsements, or full coverage benefits?
I think probably full coverage benefits would be the most feasible thing. And it's tough when you're trying to college athletes to get paid, because a lot of people try to go on how much that sport brings in at that particular school. So you could have some people at one school that would be entitled to making a large stipend of money versus somebody at another school where, say, their sport doesn't bring in that much money. They'd have to come up with a really fair way to be able to spread it out across the board for not only all athletes at any given institution, but all athletes across the country. Because I think it would cause a problem if certain players at one school were getting paid 10 times what somebody else at another school is getting paid, when essentially you're putting in the same amount of time and doing the same amount of work for the same sport.
Do you feel that college athletes should be paid whether or not their sports generate revenue?
That's another tough issue. I think you have to be fair and allow every college athlete, if that's what you're going to do, I think you have to allow every college athlete to receive something. But at the same time, where is that money going to come from? And I think you do have to somewhat base it off of how much money is generated by that sport, because it wouldn't be fair to have a sport that makes hardly any money for the institution, their players getting paid a large sum of money, or even the same sum of money that's a player gets whose sport brings in the most money at the school for anything. So I don't know, it's kind of a slippery slope, because I could see where people would get upset on one side of it, but I also think that if you are part of a program that is making the school millions and millions of dollars every year, you should be entitled to get at least something.
Yeah, just like the situation with Reggie Bush. I know that he got in trouble for receiving money under the table from someone, but it's hard to be in college and not be able to get money, because some people come from low income family where their money can't be a problem. Right. And it's hard for them to just call up their parents and say, "Mom, Dad, can I have some money?"
Yeah. I mean, not everybody has that luxury. And, I think that's where a lot of this whole talk about paying athletes is coming from. Is if somebody offers an athlete money or some sort of gift of value, it's hard for someone like you're saying that might have never had somebody offer him something like that, has no money to begin with. It'd be hard for somebody to turn that down. And I think they're trying to look into ways to help those types of kids out. And not everybody's lucky enough to call home and say, "Mom and Dad, send more money, I'm broke." So I think it is a good idea to look into a smart, feasible way to allow these kids to have some sort of money, and be able to, provide for themselves somewhat based on what they do on the field, for their school that's making millions of dollars.
Yeah. My last question is, would you rather college athletes to be paid or receive a small stipend while they're in school?
I think the smartest way to do it is to receive a small stipend. One thing that I've heard a lot of people talk about is you have players who have their jerseys being sold, and you look around at a game and everybody has on that that player's jersey. There's a company that's making money off of that player's jersey, and I don't know if there'd ever be a right way to allow players to receive money from royalties, from stuff like that, from the jersey sales or anything. And I know they try not to. You can't have their name on the back, and I guess that's what protects the companies for being able to do that. But I think the smartest thing to do would be to come up with a stipend, depending on the sport, depending on the school, depending on the revenue that's brought in, a stipend that's not too much at one time for a player to just get and feel like they can blow through it, and kind of try to spread it out throughout the year, and then maybe even have somebody in place that can help these players kind of manage that money, teach them the importance of what to do with it once they get it, and not have a situation where players are getting paid and then just going off doing stupid stuff with it, because I think that's the number one concern.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I want to thank you for your time. We had a good interview with you, Coach Cox. I hope your Creek players have a good season and finish with a state championship.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.